All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wa Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. To the rest of the church who believe as well, including you women out there, to the dead in Yahweh Shai as well. And through water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Galatians chapter 4 verse 3. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. So all the Israelites, not all of them are sanctioned to come into this truth. But out of all the Israelites, for those of us who were called into this truth, we were actually set free. Because when you follow the elements of this world, when you follow after the ways of Esau's society, you're really in bondage. Because see, this society promotes death, oppression, people are sad, people are miserable, okay? You know, you watch all these different things on the TV screen and you see what they're promoting. Homosexuality, women over the men, witchcraft, okay? And it's funny because when I was walking out of the door to come out here and do this video, my daughter, she was watching something on the TV screen. And basically, it was explaining through this commercial that that channel was your source for witchcraft. They didn't say it in those words exactly, but that's what they said. Okay, Lord willing, how they said it will come back to me before this lesson's over. But following after the elements of this world, you're a slave to sin. But when you come into this truth, you're set free. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But now, verse 9, but now, after that ye have known God, or rather are known of God, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage? So, to follow after the ways of this world, you're a slave to this world. You're a slave to sin. We follow after the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and his yoke is light. We serve a fair power, but the ways of this world is destruction. But we're going to be delivered, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to be delivered from bondage and from destruction. I'm going to go to the book of Romans chapter, I want to say it's 8. Let's see. Romans chapter 8 and verse 21. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. So we're going to be delivered out of this corruption. These bodies are corruptible. You can die in these bodies, man. These bodies weren't set up to rule forever. You know, basically, you know, everything we have in this kingdom is really just temporary. Everything except for the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and the spirits that are within us. Everything else is basically temporary. So to want to hold on to this world and to serve the ways of this world, you're a bondage to death. Okay? Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption. And how are we in the bondage of corruption? Because our spirit dwells in a corruptible body. And through Eve, sin came into the world through the woman. Into the glorious liberty of the children of God. And being in this truth, we have liberty. Being Israelites, we have liberty. All right? Now, you don't abuse your liberty, but we indeed have liberty through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So we're hoping that, you know, we can be delivered into them glorious chariots, man. Isaiah 26 and verse 20. Come, my people. Who is the Lord's people? Israelites. Enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors. So going into this word chambers, the definition: chamber, room, parlor, innermost or inward part, within. An apartment, bed, chamber, innermost, parlor, within. All right, so man, them chariots, man, they are bad. When we get delivered up out of here, Lord willing, man, it's gonna be like being inside of a decked out palace, man. When we get delivered in them chariots, man, it's gonna be a glorious sight. The richest man, what he has as a so-called home here on earth, those chariots are crushing that, man. Okay, so when the elect get beamed out, when they get delivered out of these corruptible bodies, they going out of here in style, man. They getting picked up in them gold and silver limos, man. They getting picked up VIP straight up, man. All right, see, right now, brothers got to suffer and catch hell. And brothers have things that they do to kind of get through the hell. Brothers have hobbies and things they like to do, things that they enjoy. But ultimately, man, as long as we're in these bodies, we are, still reaping corruption if we follow after the ways of this world and after the ways of the flesh. But if you're in this truth, and although we're incorruptible bodies and we're seeking immortality, we're going to eventually have those immortal bodies. And it's going to start once, brothers get delivered into them chariots when they get beamed up. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. So just like, going back to the time of Noah, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai allowed Noah, his sons and their wives and certain animals to get on that ship, the door was sealed. The door was closed off to everybody else. And when the flood came, everybody who was outside, they drowned. So when them chariots come, the door is going to be closed unto anybody who's not supposed to be on there. And this time, instead of people drowning in water, they're going to drown in nuclear fire, aka get burnt the hell up, man. They're going to get melted. Okay? That's the new way out of here. The first time, with Noah, started with a huge ship, man. The second time around, it's going to be a huge ship. All right? It's possible that all the elect are going to be beamed up into one huge chariot. But either way it goes, whether it's one huge chariot or different chariots, the elect are going to get beamed out of here in style. In ships. They're going to be protected on those ships just as Noah was protected on that ship and his family. And it's going to be a strange thing. When you go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2, it tells you about the strangeness of our salvation. Our salvation is going to be awkward. It's not going to be normal. It's going to be abnormal. It's going to be weird in the eyes of the people. Just very different, strange, outer worldly. When they witness, those chariots coming to pick up the elect. All right? And that's why they're also known as the chariots of salvation, because, once those chariots start picking up the elect, that very moment, that's when salvation starts. Okay? I'm going to stay in the book of Isaiah, and I'm going to go to 60 and 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves of their windows? All right, so the chariots are not only going to be like a decked out apartment, a decked out palace, they have windows, man. So the elect, they're going to be able to look out the windows, see the destruction of this place. All right, you're going to have the spiritual bodies, okay? Isaiah 60 and 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud? Now, why does it say here, who are these that fly as a cloud? When you look in the book of Psalms, it tells you how these chariots are compared to clouds. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? All right, and that's beautiful, man. You know, because see, the chariots, when they come, we're going to look upward. When we see these chariots, we're going to look in the sky and see these chariots. They're not coming from the sea. They're not coming from the soil. They're coming from the heavens, man. All right, they're going to pretty much materialize out of nowhere, man. They're not going to give warning on when they're going to show up. They're going to show up right when Yahweh sends them to show up. Okay? And Yahweh Shai and a host of holy angels with him are coming to destroy and to deliver. And we don't pick a side. We follow on the side that we were given. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? I'm going to go to the book of 2 Kings, to speak on, what Elijah, speaking on Elijah being surrounded by different chariots. Second Kings 6 and 17. Or actually Elisha, my apologies. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So the eyes of Elisha, his spiritual eyes, were open to where he could see chariots everywhere. Imagine Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai opening up our spiritual vision to see bands upon bands of holy angels, chariots surrounding you, man, guiding you, protecting you, knowing that they're on the same side you on, man. That's powerful. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Okay, and it says horses and chariots because, see, those chariots are coming with power, man. Those chariots have power. That's why certain trucks are measured off of horsepower, symbolizing the power. All right, so horses and chariots of fire, fire being pure energy. The scriptures tell you how the angels are pretty much a flaming fire. The spirit is fire, man. I haven't brought that out in a while. Let me see. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm going to see what Hebrews 1 and 7 says. Yep, this is it. Hebrews chapter 1 and 7. And of the angels, he saith, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. All right. So the horses represent the power. All right. The chariots, but that's speaking of the so-called UFOs, man. And that fire going into the spiritual forces behind those chariots, man. Those angels and the chariots themselves, the vehicles are spirits. It's not like in Esau's world where, it's just earthly elements. The chariots, man, are pure energy. The angels are pure energy, man. All right. So when we get delivered up out of here, we're going to leave these carnal bodies and be transferred over into everlasting bodies, spiritual bodies. And people are going to be messed up in the mind when they hear about the deliverance and when they see the deliverance, more so, of the elect of the nation of Israel, man. All right, so I'm going to close it right there. Kahala Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And with that, I want to say Shalom.